All right. So it is almost, well, it's the beginning of the year. I'm thinking it's almost baseball season, but the Super Bowl hasn't even been played yet. And, I don't know. I'm just kind of, I am just so not the football fan at all. And I don't know, man. I haven't watched the Super Bowl in I don't know how many years. I boycotted the Super Bowl going, I think, on 7 years now. And the only reason I ever even watched it in the last 7 years is just to go to a party at somebody's house sort of thing. But yeah, it was never really, I haven't watched it. I haven't paid attention. I don't give a fuck who plays in it. That's not my jam. I don't know anything about that. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know who's playing this year at all. So, and I know that seems kind of weird in a very tribal society at the moment where football is everything, sports is everything, and if you're not part of the program, you're ousted or sort of shit. You know what I'm talking about. Now, as I'm recording this, and I just did an old man rant on one of my other podcasts about sports and shit. As I'm recording this, it is, it's technically Tuesday morning. And this past Sunday is when Kobe Bryant and a few other people, including his daughter, died in a helicopter crash in Los Angeles County, basically. So sports has been in the news lately, and of course the impeachment trials, if you guys are following that, but this is not what I'm talking about here today. Now, as I was doing my old man rant there podcast on the other side about sports and things like that, I decided, man, it was a bit of a downer. And I'm like, well, man, I need to hop on here and talk about some anime for a while to lighten up my mood and get me in a better mood, and fucking make me happy again, sort of thing. And I just started thinking, what sports animes have I watched? And first one at the top of my head is I watched it fairly recently. Actually, it was Big Windup, and by recently I mean within the last year. I must have watched it in July or June, July is when I watched it. And I thought, as I was looking up the details, and even then, I didn't look up any show notes then. I didn't know what year it was made. I didn't know anything. I just saw there was a baseball. It had high ratings of something or other that I was watching or that I was looking for. And I'm like, man, well, I haven't seen it. It's a baseball movie, and I don't know if I don't know. I'm not interested in this, that, and the other, but, I finally decided, all right, let's watch it. So, like any basic other anime movie, or like some of these other animes that I've watched, I went in there expecting one thing, and I got something a little different. And, I really liked it to the point where I actually would love to see a sequel to this, but it's probably not going to... probably not going to happen. I mean, it's been so long now. I'm not sure that there's other ones. I got to look. Maybe there is one, but it's just named differently. I don't know. Maybe there's another baseball movie or something. Or anime. I might have to do some research on it too on here. And of course, if you guys know anybody, you can always drop me a line at fistinaframe podcast at gmail.com. Go to fistinaframe.com and you can see what I have. Check my email there. All of a sudden I'm having a brain fart and I don't know what the fuck is going on. Anyway. I don't know my own fucking email all of a sudden, right? Shit. All right, so the Big Windup, man. First of all, I applaud this anime for essentially going inning by inning and covering an entire baseball game. I really thought that would be boring as fuck. And you know what? It wasn't. There was sometimes, I mean, there's a couple episodes in there that I'm like, you know what? I don't, I'm not sure what the fuck is, what we need this for, but I think I think the more artistic and obvious thing is as we go through life, we go through innings, and something happens in our life that are ups and downs in our life, and we can take it inning by inning, and we just, while the outcome of the game isn't always secure, you just got to keep on playing. You got to overcome. You got to adapt. You've got to depend on friends. You've got to find yourself and find your inner strength here to move forward and win. And I dug that about it, where, yeah, I might have taken a little bit more out of it than I think they threw up. They threw in there. But I liked it. I think that I'm hoping that that's what the idea was. It's definitely on the facade. It's about a young man, basically trials and tribulations of a young man who has zero confidence, and through the help of his friends and this game of baseball and his talents, he becomes a mature young man, or at least through this ordeal, plays the best team in the world and is able to, well, fuck it, they win, I guess. And they work together as a team and beat an otherwise very talented team, because, you know, the good guy always wins, sort of thing, right? But, you know, when you guys see this one, though, the ending, man, while I know what it means, I don't know what it means. Why such an ending? I don't get that part. I think the only thing that maybe I can understand from that is that it seems to me that they were squashing the fact that they're going to do a sequel on it. That's the only thing I can think of at the moment, and it seems kind of weird, but yeah, that's all I got on that. I don't understand that the ending was very, oh man, it was tragic in the sense to where I think they grew up a little too much, and somehow being part of a baseball team, some people let it go, some people didn't, and you know what? It's one of those things where I think I do got to rewatch it, but that's just to maybe understand it. Just because I can't believe that the ending ended up being that. I don't know, man. Sometimes, you know, from what I understand, people run out of budgets, people do this, people do that, and they just slap some shit together. But the middle parts of it were very, very cool. The baseball is very well part of the Japanese culture, as it is, maybe even more so. I don't know that it is here in the United States. I don't know too many teams that have a well, I don't know actually how well, actually thinking about it, there's got to be a some sort of little league program out there in Japan, because they can't all play for the middle school. I guess this is a middle school sort of thing. I don't know how otherwise, you know, here if I were to believe that in the United States, the middle team, your school is your middle school is your only baseball team representing there. There's a lot of kids that don't get to play baseball. I'm sure they got some sort of little league program thing, and then just the best kids play for the middle school team or whatever. I'm sure it's got to be something like that. I don't know. At least I hope it is, because otherwise a lot of kids don't get to play baseball, as opposed to where here in America we don't have middle school teams in that sense. At least not on the West Coast, and in the Southwest for sure. And probably in the East Coast, maybe somewhere in Middle America, that I am not very, maybe even somewhere in places in Texas. But here, Little League runs wild until you get to high school, and in high school is when you start playing for your team. unless there's some sort of mistake in here where, well, the kids weren't drawn, quote unquote, weren't drawn like they were seniors and juniors in high school. They were drawn like they were more like, definitely like they were acting more like middle schoolers sort of thing. So, like, junior high equivalent here. But overall, man, I'm really surprised that they ended up taking, in this anime, they did take a chance. They took the vehicle of baseball and used it as a metaphor for life. I mean, yeah, that's basically it, right? And they didn't really introduce female characters in here. It's very male driven. Of course, the coach is a female, big, buxom young lady who's very knowledgeable about baseball. Basically, my dream girl. And there's a little bit of a love interest there, but it's nothing that is grown, or there's no arc in it. It's just the fact, just kind of throwing it in there that, yeah, there's a girl in here, and may or may not have something to do with baseball or with this young man's growing up. It shows a lot. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. It shows a lot of respect between teams here that I find very cool. And of course, knowing what I know about Japanese baseball, everyone seems very respectful to the point where it's almost kind of scary and almost seems disingenuous too. Like on the facade, you act like you are truly respectful of the other teams. Now, I'll tell you what, I played a lot of baseball, and that is not the case here in America, at least not where I played. We don't bow to each other. Quite the contrary. We flip people off. It's a very dirty game in America. And, of course, the other thing that's happening right now, if you are not into sports, the big deal right now is that the Astros of the Houstons got caught cheating. And someone is talking about, I don't know, I really don't know the details. They were caught stealing signs. And actually, stealing signs isn't illegal per se in baseball. Everyone does it, or everyone tries to do it in baseball. It's just part of the game. And baseball is one of those games where if you can cheat as long as you don't get caught. And everybody is trying to look for an angle. And some of the even there's a mantra that goes, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And it's, again, stealing signs is a big deal. And you're always trying to steal signs. You're always trying to get an advantage on that. Right now, the Houston Astros, though, went above and beyond stealing signs. They use technology by having some sort of fancy camera out in the field and stealing signs from the catcher, which is it's a big no-no. But even then, the other team should have been more or less savvy to it, in my opinion, and realized that some shit was happening. Every time there was a pitch thrown or every time something happened, there was signals given to the batter. And, I don't know. I personally, I think they're making too much of a big deal out of it to where, yeah, man, they cheated. Fine, whatever. The football teams are cheating too. The Patriots of New England also got caught cheating by videotaping other people's practices and stealing their plays and shit like that. And again, with the mantra of if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? And that's not to say that we're trying to blatantly do things, but in baseball, there's people doctoring the ball as far as putting Vaseline on it, putting your boogers on it, filing it down, cutting the ball so that the seams are lifted, or so that rawhide is lifted to get you a different sort of movement on the ball. People are corking their bat. Very good people are corking their bats. This cat named Chris Sabo was a outstanding third baseman for the Reds. He got caught corking his bat Basically, what it means is you drill a hole and you take out the heavy wood and you put cork in it to make your bat not only lighter so you can swing it, but you also it makes it bouncier too. I don't know, but it makes it fragile so that if it does break, you get easily caught. And that's what happened to Chris Sabo. And of course, there's the other cheating scandals of doing steroids in baseball, which is it's funny. When I was playing baseball, we all knew steroids were a problem. But in those days, everyone knew that there were, everyone knew steroids was an issue. But the sports writers, even at that time, while they sit here and they pat themselves in the fucking back right now for the discovery about we find out who's doing steroids and this, that, and the other, or performance enhancing drugs, because steroids wasn't just the only one. But they were the same sports writers that back in the day were saying that steroids and performance-enhancing drugs, you take all of them because baseball is a game of skill and none of that shit is going to help you. Which goes to show you how much fucking sports writers know about anything anyway. They fucking useless anyway. So these kids for the baseball team, what's the name of the team here? Let me look it up. Mishura, I can't remember the name of the team, but I guess it's the baseball team that they played for used to be prestigious in a way, and I think one of the kids' relatives, I think his dad played for it or something like that, and they were a great team, and they were trying to get back into the tournament to save face or win the big tournament again, and they did. I don't think I'm giving anything away here. I mean, it's just it's an old anime. Let me look at here. Oh man, this fucking anime is old as fuck. Well, it'd be in 2020 now. Shit. This anime is, looks like this original running was, the original date was April 12th, 2017. So that's fucking 13 years ago coming up here. And actually, funny thing is, it coincides with opening day baseball. Well, actually, I don't know what the Japanese baseball season is, but it is, April is when the American Major League Baseball starts. And anyway, now I was going to go on in some other tangent about that sort of thing. I guess April also coincides with, or March or April coincides with the new, not just baseball season here. I think school starts during those times in Japan. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to fact check me on that one because I can't remember if they start off in March or April, somewhere along those lines. But anyway, that's it would make sense if it did for one reason or another. But yeah, the anime here is it's fun to watch, and again, the most impressive thing that I took away from it, obviously. And it's not new. It's not groundbreaking in the sense that we're talking about teenagers coming into, realization, growing up, dealing with things, and gaining confidence, as most of our animes tend to show. The impressive thing that I saw here is how it breaks it. It all happens during the course. The majority of the things happening during the course of a baseball game. And I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it and you think it's going to be boring, like, oh my God, I'm watching basically every episode is a half inning or an inning to play, or a half inning. One player's at bat, and then the next show is the next player at bat, sort of thing. And the things that happen in between the innings too. It might seem like it's a little daunting and a little crazy. And even if you are not into baseball or sports in general, it's pretty interesting. It's really interesting. It really is. The baseball thing sort of takes again, I'm impressed the fact that it takes during it all basically, most of it is during a baseball game. It's not the main, you don't need to know anything about baseball. You don't need to know anything about the rules. They do a really good job of explaining those. And what is important is the character arc, especially for the main character, that he goes from being one person or one type of person and in the beginning, and does a very nice character arc through the help of his friends and his teammates and coaches and hey, even parents, how he grows into a more confident person, giving you optimism for for him growing up. And which is, I like I said, I'm really glad that I thought of this anime here right as I did my old man rant there. It puts me in a good mood, and I think you guys know that for the most of us, anime is supposed to put us in a better mood. We're supposed to use it to escape. We're supposed to use it to not think of shitty things, and it's a form of escape for sure. I met someone a couple of days ago, and we turns out that we did have anime in common. And believe it or not, I haven't watched One Punch Man as of today. I've watched only the first 2 episodes. I'm probably going to do a couple more episodes here before I go to sleep. But yeah, I know, shame on me. What can I say? If I told you the other anime that I was watching, yeah, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, man? But no, I am watching anime. It's just not the kind that I'm going to talk about here most, yeah, it's bad anime, but bad anime is still better than most fucking bullshit out there, right? All right, man, so I rambled on a little bit on this. I promise I'll probably come with a more concise breakdown on something else. See, here's the thing, man. I'm again, and I keep saying this because I want to make sure that all 3 of you people listening out there, know that this isn't the anime where I'm going to tell you, all right, these are the best of the season, these are the worst of the season. I'm not even going to talk about my favorite anime all the time, although I already did that with the Robotech edition before, the Robotech episode. This is just anime that, all the anime that I talk about here, for the most part, is anime that I like and that I recommend, and that I really took something away from other than just either, hentai perv sort of thing and harem sort of thing, which I know we watch, I know we do, and, like I said, those are the ones that I probably would never talk about unless I take away something big from it. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what this podcast is mostly about, is this sort of grandeur things that we take away from anime other than just being quote-unquote cartoons and Comic-Con fodder that a lot of people seem to think that it is. And, besides, here's the thing, there are already a ton of other great podcasts already dedicated to such, I call them pop anime, popular anime that you can go listen to. And once in a while, if you feel like listening to a shitty podcast about half-assed opinions on decent anime to good anime, well, you come to the right place. All right, I really appreciate you listening and hearing me ramble on for a little bit. I think the next one will be a little bit more concise as I finish watching maybe One Punch Man or something else too. I haven't really gotten a really deep, dark anime just yet. I did, but I did watch one, but it was like, it's so obvious and in your face that I'm like, yeah, you know what? We all get it. I think we are going to get it, and there's probably nothing new to talk about that. But yeah. All right. Again, I'm getting out of here, and I'm going to watch a couple episodes of One Punch Man before I hit the hay. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you guys later.